Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, anglers of all ages, hello, my friends, and welcome to this week's Tackle Box. I'm your host, JaxyBeard, and we haven't met before. Nice to meet you. Most likely we have, and you know that we had something special planned for this week, and I'm pumped about this. This is going to be a fun one. We have some really cool stuff to show you today and to go through. We're gonna start off here real quick, but as you can see, I am joined today by one of our very, very talented designers, Nathan. How are you, my friend? Thank you for joining me.
Hello. Yeah, thank you. I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm great. I've really been looking forward to this. It's just been too long since I've had you guys out here, and I know all the hard work you've been putting in here and the passion you've been pouring into this, and I can't wait to be able to talk with yourself and show some of the folks and everything that's going on. So again, thank you for joining me. Wow.
Pleasure, my pleasure.
Guys, as you can see, we're here right now on Golden Ridge Reserve. I am on a very special build. It is a dev build, as you can see. I'm pointing to my stream PC. A dev build, work in progress. So there could be changes by the time you see this, but there is some really big things happening. And most importantly is this progression overhaul. Now, Nathan's going to talk a little bit about it. While we're going through it, I'm going to start doing some of this. We're going to run through some of this tutorial today and get into, if time permits, into a mission. And you may even see some things that we're not supposed to show. I apologize in advance. Please don't fire me. What do you think, Nathan? Are we safe? We're
Well, I hope so. It's both of our butts on the line here, isn't it?
It sure is. But hey, that's what keeps it kind of fun and exciting, right? You know, never knowing what's around the next corner. So
For sure.
listen, my friend, I have been seeing what you've been doing and the work that you've been putting into this. I've seen how you're just all over it these days. You're in with the player council build, or the player councils. I mean, you're rocking it. Can you tell us a little bit about what we can see here? Let's start with the new progression overhaul. Anything you could tell us?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so for the last couple of months, we've been really hard at work at trying to make it more fun, basically, to actually progress through the game. So we've kind of started from scratch. Like, okay, what do we have, and what can we do better with the angler moving through, like making sure that the leveling up is actually fun. And trying to see, like, okay, how can we make things just a little bit more smooth. So one of the very important changes, I would say, to as a part of this progression overhaul, is that right now in the live build and the retail build, you earn your credits when you level up, right?
Okay.
And we've heard this from the community and from our own devs and from all other sources. Is like, it just doesn't feel as good. So we've gone the most sensible way, and we said, okay, you know what? We're just going to change it to how everyone wants it to be, and that is, you get your credits when you catch a fish. Doesn't sound very special, but it has a lot of implications for us in the way that we structure, well, everything in the game. The way you get your equipment, and what happens when you level up now. So yeah, that was basically the start of all this. And on top of that, we have started adding level up rewards. So now when you level up at certain thresholds, you actually get some nice little goodies to help you, get your gear and get started a little bit. Move up in the world a little bit more and quickly in one way.
Okay.
And a bit more guided in another way, so that new players coming in will actually have a bit of an easier time.
I love this, and I love what I'm hearing. And just so you folks know, this is my first time jumping into this build. I've seen it in the works, but I haven't played it. Now, Nathan, this is really cool. Just on screen. So first off, wow, that was kind of cool. I'm going to let chat decipher what they just saw that I didn't point out. You'll see it again, but there was some real low-key changes there that are pretty cool in the experience. But this is big, and you just talked about it. Catching fish will earn you XP and credits. Credits allow you to buy new equipment and apparel from the shop. Earn enough XP, you will level up, unlocking additional equipment in the shop. That is a huge change. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So well, everyone who's already played the game will obviously know that you can just go to the shop and buy whatever you want as long as you have the credits for it. Now, this turned out to be super overwhelming for a lot of new players. Like, I can buy so much stuff. What should I actually get? So as a part of this, what we've now done is that, okay, we're going to look at where can we expect players to naturally go, and how experienced are they likely to be with, once they reach a certain level. And we've basically set some limitations in one way, where we're telling you, okay, if you've hit level 5, you can now buy more equipment. If you hit level 10, you can unlock even more and more, going up all the way through to, I think it was level 40 or 50 now. It's in the works, so don't pin me down on that number just yet.
Won't do it.
You'll take some time to actually, progress through that and earn more for equipment and unlock that equipment as you effectively move up the ranks as an angler in Golden Ridge and in Norway as well.
That is very cool. That is very cool. I'm a big fan of that style of progression. In many games, in our games, I constantly restart because I love that, and I'm really looking forward to experiencing it. You might not get me off this build for a while. I'm just going to throw that out there. So as you can see,
please don't. I mean, this is the newest content basically that is out there for the people that do have access to it. Now, a little caveat is that you might run into a bug or two here and there. It is still work in progress.
Yes, absolutely. No, that's understandable, and I think listen, we're not the first time we've had a build in progress on these streams, so I completely get you, my friend. You can see as I'm working through this mission, there were little subtle changes right off the bat. I've got the lookout tower, but it was my choice to go up. Previously, before you had to go up. Little changes like that actually streamline the experience, and it's kind of neat actually because I've redone this tutorial myself probably about 5 or 6 times. It feels a lot smoother. Also,
that's been one of our big sort of core focuses in this as well. Is like we've noticed that a lot of new players coming in are kind of confused on how the game works, or they finish the tutorial and they just can't really catch any fish. And we said, that sucks. We want people to enjoy this, and we've really noticed that where sometimes things are obvious for us, they're really not for players. So one thing we really wanted to make sure is that everyone who comes in, is not left confused about what the game is about and how to approach the game. And we really want to give players all of the tools that they need in order to actually play the game.
Right.
So one of the things that we've done to start that is we've streamlined the tutorial. We've cut out a lot of the fat that was in the initial tutorial, but to compensate for that, we've developed basically an entirely new set of missions that will guide the player through. Going anywhere from basically you finish the tutorial, the basics of the game, the controls, the buttons to press, all the way up to how do I assemble a rod? What does different hook size do? How do I use lures? What are lures in the first place for people coming in not actually knowing that? And you'll find that there's now a series of missions which we call the Taylor Stackle Academy.
I can't wait.
That's available in Golden Ridge.
Yeah.
And you can play all the way through that, where we explain as much as we can in very bite-sized little chunks.
Nathan, I can't contain myself. I'm gonna just explode here. This is insane. You see what's on screen at the moment? Folks are picking up on it right away.
Oh yeah, you found it.
I can't hide it. Was that a leak? Technically, maybe.
No. This was fully intentional.
Oh, I love it. That is fantastic. Round of applause. Black Crappy coming. It's just great. But there's more. Chat already noticed the waves, which blew my mind when I ran up because I haven't experienced it. I've only seen it in its development process, little pics and teasers here and there, but to actually see it in game, and my character's so happy, he's smiling away. Guys are picking up on this.
So
right?
One of the things that we've also really been working hard on is the water quality. Just trying to make that look better. And to make that water even more interesting, we're got to be careful about what I say now. We're adding a bunch of new fish. And some of you have already seen this in the Discord, of course, but we're adding 8 entirely new species to Golden Ridge. I won't say what they are. I don't think the marketing team will like me if I do. But yeah, we're adding a bunch more new fish to Golden Ridge.
Well, we've just seen the black crappie, and that's been a request. I'm just going to throw it out there. I see all the requests from the community. I know there's going to be a lot of folks happy about that. Look at this water, chat. Like, that is, I don't think I've seen this level yet in any game. That is so impressive. Wow. I mean, I knew we had new water effects coming. We've talked about it here on stream, knowing that it was coming. I could do a whole stream on this water. It's huge. Right, chat? Oh,
it is looking so much better than before.
Is it ever? Man. Okay, so Dragon Tenge, go to the jetty. I'm on the jetty. Wait, does it want me to go to a different jetty? It does. Let me head over there.
Oh, turn around.
No, it's this guy over here. I'm 80 meters out. I'm on it. We have multiple jetties here. It's
yes.
We're just
introducing you to all the jetties.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait to get into the Taylor Tackle Academy. So while I'm running through this tutorial, now, not that there was any, I actually really enjoyed the tutorial previously, but I'm already seeing the improvements that are made. And you've already said you want it to be a better experience. And, maybe I'm putting you on the spot here. Were there any real challenges? Because, it's got to be hard in your position. As you said, what you take for granted others may know. How did you go about doing this? I imagine player council, so on and so forth.
Yeah, so we've looked at a lot of different input, basically, a lot of different feedback. The player council's definitely been a part of that, but we've also, just looked at whenever someone says, okay, I can't catch fish. We're like, okay, we're trying to figure out why, what is happening? What are you doing? And what don't you know? And we've really tried to look at, okay, what is it that you don't know, and how can we help with that? Because in the end, the game should at least give you the tools that you need in order to play it, right? That's really been a big core focus as part of this. Is okay, what are the things that people are confused about? What are the things that people have a hard time figuring out? We've just systematically gone through that and rewritten it over and over and over again, and trying to just play through it and see where are the issues, where can we smooth this down so it is both fun to play, fun to learn, but also at the same time not frustratingly difficult, because we're asking you to do something that might just be not suited for when you're doing it. So this whole Taylor Tackle Academy it's been months in the work. We've had so many people play through it and test it and give us feedback and tell us where the improvements can be made and how we can improve it. Listen to so many suggestions. That's really been our entire process here.
That's very cool. That's very cool. By the way, I really love the little, it's like more polish. Well, you get the achievement that comes up, boom, it tells you what you've just done. And I like that. It tells me I'm doing something right.
Exactly.
So I've just got into Taylor's Tackle Academy now. We're at the board. Let's see. So online multiplayer, yes. Taylor Tackles Academy series, looking good. And it's taking you right through bait, lures, and hooks. Okay. Level up to, oh, that's nice. New gear added to your backpack. Okay, so let's take a look. So
that's one of the big things that we're now also doing is, we can't really expect everyone to always be at the same level. So, we've decided to just be a little bit more generous in what we expect a player to have and expect a player to do. And just, whenever we ask the player to use something, we'll just give it to them. if they won't be big, expensive freebies, but they'll just be, small freebies in order to get you going.
I like that. I like that. And so now we're going to have to actually fish to earn. And as we catch them, we fish, we get more money, we can get more gear. And it's actually feels like it's going to be a little more clear. I know what you were saying. Now there were people that were confused when they first came in. If they weren't real life fishermen, which many players aren't, they're just interested in learning about it. And now it's like there's a direction and it's showing you. I dig it. Right now I'm looking at float fishing. So I imagine it's going to be the same. Take us through all the different, there you go, read the instructions. Take us through all the different techniques and such.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, slowly as you progress through this, we'll get a little bit more complicated. We'll get a little bit more difficult, and just introduce things as smoothly as we can, as sensibly as we can. And I think right now we're in a pretty good spot where we're at least explaining to the player like, hey, this is what we're asking you to do, and this is why we're asking you to do it, because it's really important to also have that why, of course, right?
Of course.
It's like, hey, we're telling you about this, but why is it important in the first place?
Very good. Very good. I like that. So I see there's questions coming through. I got to try. So I don't want them to get buried, chat. I'm not ignoring you, but you can see we have so much to go through. But I do see one here. Bolts fan has asked, and we did touch on this one a little bit. Are there new items in the shop? And if you get items unlocked at certain levels, are you already past that level? Does it all unlock? I guess.
Oh, that is a whole different thing for us to get into as well.
I was just going to say that.
As a big part of this overhaul. Oh, another one. You found another one.
Surprise.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. That's fantastic. And look, as we earn on each fish, yeah, chat sees it. There's no hiding this.
There's no hiding this.
That's fantastic. Man, the animation looks great too.
The new fish are beautiful.
Oh, I mean, hey, that is one thing. Our artists, they blow my mind and continue to blow my mind.
Absolutely. Same here.
So we should talk about the, I guess maybe talk about how the XP credits work and what's the level impact. I don't know quite how to word that. I'm going to leave that to you.
So one of the very important things that we notice is that on live currently, it's really easy to just get a high level. And the levels at that point kind of become meaningless, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't really go anywhere. And there's people that reach level 500, but in the end, what does that really mean? And it doesn't really mean a whole lot because it's very, well, I won't say it's fast to get there at all. So, you've put in a lot of time and that by itself is very meaningful. But one of the things that we figured out for what it means gameplay wise is that it's very little. So what we've done is basically gone through what level maps to what experience and what do you do to get to that level? Like, how do you earn that experience? And we've decided to make an entirely new XP curve. So that effectively means that the experience that you've earned before now maps to a lower level, so to speak. So to give you an example, in that new experience curve, if you're on live level 100, the new experience curve, you would be level 45-ish, around that point. And in order to sort of compensate for that, what we're doing is for everyone on the current live build, once this update hits, they'll see that they're a considerably lower level than what they would be in live. Now, we understand that a lot of people might not like this, but there's one very important consideration for that, which is you don't actually lose anything. Because all of the experience that you've earned, up to a certain amount, is exactly the same. You won't lose your equipment, you won't lose access to anything that you've already purchased. There's basically no change except the level that is on your profile.
Well, that's all relative too. as you right.
Yeah, exactly.
If those levels are that much bigger now, and you were a high level before, well, you're still going to be a much higher level than everybody else. So that's all relative. I like that.
Yeah, exactly. And well, there is a cap to this. We have decided to set a cap, which is, I'll get there actually as I explain this. So the level cap that we've decided on is level 230. The life build will map to level 70. If you're over level 230, you won't be basically compensated for that difference. But in order to make sure that people don't lose out, a big part of the level up rewards that you get beyond level 70 are entirely new items that are unobtainable in any other way, including a brand new rod that is going to make a lot of people pretty happy once they reach that level.
Oh, I am intrigued. I haven't seen this. Interesting. There's something to
Let's just say
for.
it matches the high level that you'll have when you earn it.
Okay. Oh, I dig that. I like that a lot. I know a lot of people will appreciate that. That is something to work for. Previously it was the souvenirs and such to work for, but now, I mean, you still have that, but you're also gonna have like a proper purpose. That's pretty dang cool. That is pretty cool. I like that. Dang, I'm level 480, says Bolts Fan. You're still gonna be quite good. Quite high level, my friend.
It's basically, so also to answer the initial question, like, will we earn anything that would have been given by the previous levels? And the answer is no. Basically, what we've decided is that if you were already of that high level, you get to keep all your equipment, all your credits. You don't really need the freebies because all of the freebies that you'll be earning up to that level are things that you can just buy in the store.
Okay.
Meaning that you won't actively lose out on anything. If you would earn anything through a level up, you would be able to buy that in the store from that level onwards. So there's a bit of give and take there, basically. The souvenir shop is actually also an interesting item because that is also something that we've been playing with.
Yes.
So
tell me more.
Before the souvenir shop was just there to have really cool and expensive looking items, right?
Yep.
But right now we've actually tied it into the progression as well, where the reputation that you earn in the reserve by doing missions is now basically it unlocks items in the souvenir shop. So for every 250-ish reputation that you've earned, you'll unlock more souvenir items. And these souvenir items aren't just bought with credits anymore. Because we're also introducing a couple of new currencies, actually. They all tie into the same, and they're called trophy tokens. So now when you catch trophy fish, which are the gold, diamond, and legendary fish, you'll actually get a token for each of those fish. So if you catch a gold, you get a gold token. If you get a diamond, you get a diamond token. If you catch a legendary, you'll get a legendary token. And all of these tokens are actually going to be used to buy souvenir items as well.
I love it. I absolutely love it. There's a point, you've just given so much purpose. Like, there's purpose to your progression. There's purpose to your reputation. This is good. I'm digging this. I'm digging this. By the way, I don't want to interrupt too much, but I noticed the secure catch is not in this build. Is that intentional?
It is actually in this build, but you will only need to use it once a fish goes over, I think, half a kilo.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. I actually like that a lot.
The small little tiddlers you can still kind of pull out of the water. The big ones, however, you need to work for a little bit more. Yeah,
that makes sense. I also notice this post in the water's got a nice little sway to it. Maybe I'm pointing out too many things here. Can't help it. I get excited about these little details. And
I've been staring at that pole for a long time.
I bet. I mean, but it's got a nice sway, which, like, it's those little touches that just make it feel more alive, more immersive. I'm also noticing and playing with this here because, again, my first time actually playing in this build, my friends. And we've talked about this. If you're just tuning in now, one of the big changes, and I think this is one that a lot of folks will appreciate, is how we're going to earn our money in our XP, and it's based on a per catch. And you can see now, I wasn't sure how that would translate because previously we would get a good chunk when we got it at the 25, the 50, the 75% mark. You earn good money that way. But I'm getting, and I would, maybe I'm not supposed to ask this. Maybe this is maybe a little too granular. But for instance, that's 5 credits for that bronze fish. So if I catch a gold, is it going to be 10? If I catch a diamond, is it going to be 20? That sort of thing? Or is it just a straight catch?
It is going to be based on the weight of the fish.
It is.
So each fish is going to, give you at least a small amount of credits.
Yeah.
And I mean, the fish that you're catching here, they're tiny. You can catch them on your starting equipment.
Yeah.
But as the fish get progressively bigger, you earn more and more and more. This is still, a bit of a work in progress, as balancing is hard. But I believe if you catch Sidewinder, and I've heard that a lot of people have been having trouble finding him. If you catch Sidewinder, you get a buttload of money. Let's just put it that way.
I love it. Love to hear it. He's certainly the hardest of the legendaries. I mean, we have some of our real dedicated players that are still out there trying to catch him for the first time. And I love that. I love that it's not just spend the time, there it is. It's you have to work for it. I think it's great. So I'm getting into the beginner class 2. Gear strength value. Okay. Strong lines. So it is really walking you through. If you've never fished a day in your life, you're going to have a good feeling by the end of this. And if you have, and you're a real life fisherman, it's just bringing you up to speed on our mechanics. It's a nice rework so far, I must say. So I've got to go build. That
is really the purpose of this. We've taken, of course, a lot of liberties making this game compared to actual fishing. So, it is just necessary for, anyone new to the game, really. I think you need to build your gear right now.
I do. And I'm terrible ADHD guy. What do I need here? The maiden rod,
exit out of the shop.
Yeah.
No. You've just been given something actually in this mission. So if you go to the rod builder and try and build the rod that it's asking you.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you did there. That is fantastic. We got the maiden too. That's nice. Actually, I like that design. And a set to match. I like the color coordination. 2. Okay.
You see my sister around?
Oh, this is great. So it's just started us right off. Hey, ready to rod and roll. I figure you guys sit around on a Friday evening and come up with some of the fun little jargon. Ready to rod and roll. I'm right there. What was it asking?
Our narrative designer is brilliant. He's so funny.
Okay, let's see. I think, wait, a 4-pound fluorocarbon. Okay.
Wonder if old clay.
You need to take it out as well. This is one of those little bugs that just keeps on coming back.
Okay.
After building the rod, just equip it and you'll be good.
Okay. All right.
Did you take out the right rod?
I did not take out the right rod. That's what I was just taking a look at. User error. There we go. That is correct rod.
Maybe did you put on the 2 kilo line or did you put on the 1 kilo line?
What did I put on the 2 kilo? Let's take a look. See. Oh, I swapped over to the 1. There we go. Beautifique. Now, do keep in mind, my friends, we are on the dev build. It is a work in progress, so you're going to see little things like you guys know the drill. I don't even need to say
This
it.
park is just the best kept secret.
Okay, let's head on over to this next location.
Buy something next time.
Petition to replace Sophia with Jax. No. She's got a much nicer voice. I do see a lot of the questions coming, my friends. We've recently shared that we have a console launch coming up in mid-August. The only reason we can't give you a date yet is we are still going through the paces, and we want to get it out there as soon as possible. So bear with us. As soon as we have a solid date, we'll give it to you. But mid-August, greatness is happening, my friends. Crossplay, you can see everything that's happening here. And actually, I have some good news, as I've been asked recently, and I did get some confirmation at release. Oh, hey, that almost looked different for a second there. At release, you will, of course, have Golden Ridge Reserve, and for a limited time, you will get Norway included. So there you go. A lot of you have been asking that the last few streams. It's going to be for a limited time. I don't have the timelines or anything down yet, but hey, that's good news, man. That's really good news. We did the same thing actually with PC release. Once the PC release was cleared and Norway came out, it was free for a short period of time as well. So just a little thank you for the community and something to really look forward to. Man, I can't get over this water, Nathan. This is insane. Like,
Yeah, it's so good. It looks so much better than before now.
like these waves and the movement on the boat on it it's captured it. I might just go cruise around, man. Like, seriously. Now, I didn't get to do anything in the souvenir shop, and we're talking about the reputation. So maybe I'm not supposed to ask this yet, because does the mastery on your equipment play into this at all?
Not yet, I'm afraid. Mastery is definitely one of those things that we've been thinking about. Like, what do we want to do with that exactly? And we've got some good ideas rolling around. There's some designs floating around, but it's one of those topics that seems very easy to tackle on the surface.
Yeah.
But once you get into the deep end of it, it's very tricky.
Nathan, you freaking
so,
rock.
yeah.
I love the puns. Keep those freaking fish jokes coming. Saw what you did there.
Try to sneak them in from time to time.
It's awesome. I'm sorry, I'm gonna lose it. Oh my goodness. No, you get to keep it as long as you claim it, Fireball. You'll get to keep the Norway map. Norway is it's absolutely an electric map. I love it over there, but there's some major changes happening here on Golden Ridge Reserve.
With those new fish coming in, we decided, we've been hearing some issues with Golden Ridge, like catching golds and diamonds. So we figured, with these new fish coming in, we might as well just take a look at the balancing and the spawning numbers and all that. So the entire map in terms of fish spawning has basically been redone. Doesn't mean, you can't catch familiar fish in the same spots anymore, but it does mean that, some spots might feel a little different than they did before. And I mean, I don't want to say too much because that would be spoilers. And that's really something that you're going to have to find out for yourself when we release this. But it's the map will feel different.
That's exciting. I love exploring new things and trying to find them and figure them out. But hey, look what just happened. Look what just happened, chat. So Nathan, sneaky. So there we go. I was just handed a bunch of gear. Okay. So this is really good. This right here is really, really good. One of the things now, first off, my friends, if you're wanting to get involved and you haven't already, our Discord is absolutely our hub of all things fishing with some incredible community members. And often when I see is people coming in and they're not understanding the hook sizes. Having this right here just in game, because we do have some pretty cool guides. There's some really cool stuff coming that I can't talk about yet, but this is big and small, I guess, at the same time. I'm hooked on it. And once, it just gives you a bit of a rundown on what you can expect. Okay. Small. So there you go. As a rule of thumb, small fish only caught in a small hook. So however, you might also occasionally attract a big fish with a small hook. We've seen that happen, but vice versa, not. So there we go. It's asking it. I like this new Taylor's Tackle Academy. And this is completely optional, correct?
Yeah, the only thing we ask you to do to finish the tutorial is pick up the first mission, just to make sure that you actually know that it's there. If you don't want to do it, that's all up to you. I can highly recommend anyone new to the game actually doing it. I think you also need to get your boat a little bit further back. I just saw the spot is currently a little tricky, so it might not work where you're fishing right now.
I appreciate that.
But yeah, it's just something to ease people in, and especially if you're new to the game, or if you're returning and you wanna start fresh. It's there. It won't go away. And I have to say, I think once you finish all of the missions, you'll get some goodies that you can't get anywhere else. So it might just be worthwhile even for the veterans that have already played through the entire game.
Oh, very nice. That gives a reason for our vets to go back. Okay.
Talking about veterans, coming back for a reason, it's, with this update and all of the new fish, one of the things you will notice once you're playing this is that all of the missions, even if you've completed all of them, all of the fishing missions specifically, not the warden missions, will actually be reset. You won't lose anything that you've gained from these missions, but we just wanted to make sure that all of this content is now going to be available for everyone jumping in, because they are new in terms of the species. A lot of them will have familiar locales. The locations are still similar, but we're adding 12 new missions, and because of all of the species they've changed, and the way we're supporting people being able to complete these missions. I can highly recommend anyone just jumping in and playing them again. If you've completed the entire reserve, you've already maxed out your reputation. You might not get the reputation because you already have it maxed, but you can still get the credits and the XP for it.
And in some cases, rewards from what you're saying as well. So there is a reason for our veterans to go back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Well, I'm enjoying this new XP curve, and I really like how we're earning credits because it feels more. Well, it's instant. You're getting it every time. Especially as you got higher in the levels, and the level took longer to get there. If you were needing money, you could find yourself in a spot. So this is quite nice. I must say I'm a fan on this. So let's maybe recap on some of what we've talked about here. For starters, I guess I'm going to scroll up because I have some notes. For those of you that are just joining us, of course, I would urge you to go back and to check things out from the beginning of the stream. Nathan here's a legend. He's gone in detail on quite a bit of this. But number one, of course, being the new player, I guess we'll call it an onboarding rework with new tutorial system. And I mean, the tutorials, as you guys can see, I'm running through it right now. This Taylor Tackle Academy is very, very cool. Actually, I should ask, is that something that we would see on Troll Sport?
Oh, no, this is exclusive to Golden Ridge.
Very nice.
Thinking about maybe including it in Norway, but now Golden Ridge is where everyone has access to.
Yeah.
So
yeah, base map. It literally is the map that comes with the game. Although, as we mentioned, when console releases, for a limited time, you will be able to get Norway, so make sure to grab Norway. You have it forever once you get it. Okay, so Taylor's Tackle Academy with the big rework. I'm digging it. I can't wait to run through all of this. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And with that ties into the new progression system. Really, it's about the XP and how all those credits are working. But that really ties into what you talked at length about. There's the new the new leveling. Would we call it system?
not necessarily system. It's still similar to what we had before. It just the XP values are a little different there, or a little very different.
Little very different. I love it. Okay. And so that's a big one, and I think that'll take some time for people to get used to. It'll be great for the new player coming in, but our veteran players, you know, I can't urge enough, as what you've heard here. If you were level 1,000, yes, you are going to be reduced in levels, but you're still going to have that major gap over the players because you've put that time in. Levels are just much more inclusive now. There's much more to it. They're chunkier, which is kind of cool. So if you ever do, there still isn't a level cap though, is there, Nathan?
We actually did introduce a level cap with this.
Oh.
The level cap will be level 200. And for all of the people that are currently playing, level 200 in this new XP curve will actually map to about level 2200 in the live game. So yeah, I have seen some data coming in from, you know, people that use illegitimate means to reach those levels. But from as far as I've been able to see from our community and our most active players, I don't think there's anyone who has reached that level legitimately.
Got you. And we're trying to take steps to alleviate that somewhat, but that's a whole other topic. That's correct. Inferious Coffee. I could use more Inferious Coffee. It is no longer tied to your level. It is tied to per catch, per fish. And as Nathan said, and this is exciting, you are going to get credits based on the weight. So,
absolutely.
That right there, I mean, there's a new progression system. You're going to have to unlock gear. Like, you can't just go and buy it all right off the hop. But what I like about this and what I can foresee is as we level up, we get the better gear, although it costs more. You're going to be able to earn more credits because you're going to catch the chunky boys, which means you're going to be able to afford that more expensive stuff, which is very, very cool.
Absolutely. One of the things that I should probably also mention is that we've sort of reworked how much XP you actually get from a given catch, because we wanted to bring, you know, the credits and the XP a little bit more in line. Basically, well, the XP was always tied to the weight of the fish. And, you know, gear mattered a little bit, but now you'll see that using, the appropriate gear for a fish is going to give you a much chunkier amount of XP than, you know, overpowering that fish. You know, using your 20 kilo tackle to, you know, pull a 5 kilo fish out of the water.
Right. Yeah, and that was, I saw a lot of folks would do that. They just go out with the biggest, the best, and catch everything. But yeah, so that's nice. That's a good change there, and lots of little low key changes that I think a lot of chat has been noticing as we go. First off, the water, that's crazy. We've seen 2 new fish species. Sorry about that. Please don't fire us. 2 new fish species, and we know there's more. Which obviously in the upcoming weeks, as we ramp up towards things, you guys are going to see more of the new content. You'll see more of the species and some juicy stuff. And maybe we can even take a better look here in the upcoming weeks at the souvenir shop and Reputation, because they've had some big overhauls on them. Now, I know we can't really do a whole lot with the souvenir shop because it'd be best if I was able to go in and actually show that. But the Reputation, now you talked on that earlier, Nathan. That's a big one, and maybe just a quick recap for our folks that have just joined us. There must have been challenges with the Reputation. I know you guys want to give it that value.
Yeah, exactly. Initially, you know, before we launched the game, we were always thinking about, like, can we give Reputation more value than it has right now? Because it's always been, you know, about this completion of the reserve, basically. And also, I just have to mention, can you switch to minnow and cast the other way?
I certainly can. Thank you. Inside skinny.
Yeah, Reputation. So we always wanted to see if we could give it more purpose, and actually the souvenir shop just gave us that perfect opportunity, because the souvenir shop is meant to be, you know, this reserve specific shop that you can get cool stuff out of. I figured that, well, you know, tying that Reputation to unlocking the cool stuff in the souvenir shop just really works. like you've built that reputation with the NPCs by helping them out, completing their missions, proving yourself a proper angler, and it just translates really well there. But you also see that in the souvenir shop, as you now actually need to go and catch trophy fish to buy some of this this equipment, or the skins for the cars and the boats, or clothing items, that type of stuff. So after this update hits, seeing players with that souvenir shop equipment means that they didn't just blow a lot of credits on it, they actually worked for it in every sense.
You just blew my mind. You just blew my mind right there, because, like, let's face it, the veteran players, that you get to a point where you're trying to catch those trophies. You're out for the diamond burr, but don't set me on fire, chat, for saying that. For the different diamonds that are out there. But to actually have a purpose on that now, you need these trophy fish to for your reputation, for these. Oh my goodness. You're blowing my mind right now, Nathan. You are. That's just fantastic.
One thing we haven't actually even mentioned is that with this update to the souvenir shop, we're also adding a often requested item, which is an expansion to the backpack and the tackle box.
Oh. Okay, I knew that one was coming. That's gonna be.
I just have to mention it. So right now, for the people in the live build, you know that you can have up to 5 rods and reels with you, or 5, fully set up tackles, and you have 30 spaces in your tackle box. But once this update hits, you can actually upgrade that to 7 slots for your rods and reels, and up to 100 slots for your tackle box.
Oh my! I can hear the cheering from the other end of the screen right now. Hey, it's been one of the biggest struggles as a player in the game to you're fast traveling a lot to go and change your gear. Huge shout out to our devs on that one. That is fantastic, Nathan. That's going to have a major impact to quality of play. Just that one little change.
One little caveat though that I have to put in with that is that if you're a new player and you're starting on an entirely new save, you'll actually start with fewer slots there. So you'll start with 2 slots for your rods and reels, and maybe some people already noticed it when they saw you, making your rod. So you'll start with fewer. On a new save, existing players will get to keep all of the stuff that they have already. So no need to worry there. New players will start with fewer slots, but will be able to upgrade. And one of the level up rewards actually includes an upgrade to this as well.
Very good. Hey, I just earned.
We talk about level up rewards at all?
A little bit. We could talk more about that, because right there, just seeing that bronze, and I made almost 30 credits compared to the 5 on the juveniles. That's a big jump. I need to see what we're earning for golds and diamonds. I have to see this.
Oh, yeah. I'll be pleasantly surprised.
Apologies, just coughing fit. Okay.
No worries. But yeah, so...
I love these face expressions. I'm sorry. It's just great.
They're a little goofy, but they're also a little cute. It's fun.
They are. Well, when you're taking a picture and you're posting this in the trophy gallery in the Discord, links in the description. Shameless plug. It's cool to have that little bit of personality behind it. And I've noticed, depending on the size, really affects that, right? It really affects the smile.
Absolutely. Yeah, the bigger the catch, the happier your angler will be.
That's awesome. So let's. I interrupted you there. I apologize for that. Yes, please talk about the just to touch base on it again. The leveling up and the difference, the changes that we're going to experience with that.
But before I do that, I would recommend actually you switch to the 2 kilo setup that you've built before attaching this big hook, because otherwise it might get a little challenging there.
I'm on the 2 kilo.
Are you?
I'm on the fluorocarbon 2 kilogram. It's the biggest I have.
Oh,
right
okay.
now.
Maybe I just saw it wrong.
No
That's
worries.
on me.
No worries. But I was supposed to be on minnows, you were saying. I gotta
Oh
change
no,
the
no, no!
size
You
7.
were taking out the starter rod. You were taking out the starter rod. If you press 2, you take out the other rod.
Oh, I was on the. Yep. Yep. We just switched to size 7 hook. I actually like how it's leading you through this. It's kind of cool. I'm digging it. Elway Wizard, what's happened, my friend? I look like Santa Claus
Yeah.
right now? You're kidding. So
Actually, one of the things that I haven't mentioned yet that I think would be very interesting to talk about as well is that, currently on the live build, day and night fishing, most people just kind of want to skip the night, right? It's dark. It's not that much fun to fish. It's not very different. Well, it will be. We've looked at the fish and looked at, okay, there are just fish that should be more active during the day or more active during the night. And to go along with that, we've made some changes to the night actually in Golden Ridge, so it will be a lot more fun to play. Along with that, the night will be taking a little bit longer. Might be a little bit of a controversial change, but from our play testing and the feedback that we've gotten, it's actually people actually like it. So I'm very curious to see what people will think about that once the updates hit on that as well.
I've seen the feedback from our player council and such and our testers, but I've also seen, so like when the game first released, people were complaining about the nights being too long, and that was actually a really good move at the time, I think, from our dev team to push it back and make it shorter as it is. But with it being more impactful, giving it a reason, I think that people will be happy with that. And to top that off, I have seen a lot of folks requesting longer night. Not knowing the changes that were coming. So yeah, I'm interested to see everyone's thoughts on it too. And guaranteed we'll be taking your feedback. And folks, if you're not in the Discord, it is a great location to get your feedback seen directly by our dev team. I can tell you folks like Nathan here, they're scouring the Discord and our adjacent groups just to get your opinions, your thoughts, because hey, end of the day, we want to make the game that you want to play. This guy's giving me quite the fun little fight here.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, we got a bite. Nice. So
yeah, to add on to your point there, it's like, sometimes it might seem like we don't actually see what's going on. Ooh, caught a pike there. Very nice.
Yeah.
But, we do actually see almost everything that goes on in the Discord, and we do see most, if not all, of the requests. And a couple of the changes that we've made here are actually, directly related to a lot of the things that we've seen come up in the Discord and on other channels as well. Some of them more indirect than others. But in the end, we want to make a game that people enjoy playing. I would hate for people to buy the game, play it for an hour and then be like, it sucks. It's like, no, I want you to enjoy it. So, having that feedback from people that play the game actively is very, very important.
Well, it shows. It truly shows. The changes we've seen, especially what the focuses were from the community. Take the water, for example. I personally never had an issue with the water. I mean, yeah, it's improved so much, but it wasn't a game breaker for me. But it was a big talking point for the community, and there was huge requests. And this is what, the 5th iteration, the 5th improvement, 6th?
It's in continuous development, basically.
Yeah,
like anything we can do to make it look better, we'll do.
Yeah, well, these waves, I mean, this is immersive. I think chat will
Really
agree.
glad to hear that.
Yeah, this is great. This is absolutely great.
Actually, talking about chat, are there any questions? Because we're actually approaching the hour already.
I know, we've just been, and I'll be honest, we were worried. We work at it, we're like, well, I mean, we could cover this stuff and it might go real quick. Maybe we'll just end up fishing. I'm not even sure we got through everything.
Oh, we're nowhere near.
You're gonna have to come join me again here, Nathan, for sure.
I'd love that.
Absolutely, chat. If there is anything really you would love to ask Nathan right now, we've got about 6 minutes left. Of course, keep it within lines of respectful. But yeah, I'd love to hear from you guys. This is your opportunity because you got the man here, and it's fantastic to be able to pick his brain. Oh wow! Now there's certain things we're not going to be able to answer, like is feeder fish coming to the angler? Any plans for a trophy lodge? These are things I like to talk about regularly, and you've heard us, you've heard Nathan. They want to make the game that you want to play, so these are all strong considerations. But unless it was coming in this update, we wouldn't be able to just say yes. I can neither confirm or deny.
A lot of the things that I see coming by in the chat is like, these are definitely considerations, and we're discussing them and seeing like, okay, how much work would it be to implement this in a way that we can make it a quality feature to the game, because we don't just want to do a one and done. We want to make it worth interacting with as well. Let's see. We get a max weight of the biggest new fish coming to the game. I have to think about that.
Tough one.
Comparable to some of the higher end fish that are currently already in. I'm not going to name any numbers because I don't know them on the top of my head.
Here's an interesting
fish from
question.
a kayak. We don't have kayaks currently, so no.
Here's an interesting one from Oxen Bill. Are there any changes to how the fish currently spawn? He says he notices sometimes dead areas repopulate when you restart the game.
Yes. There is a whole system behind that. We've done some tweaks to make it a little bit more enjoyable. So yes, there's changes to that.
Very good. Very good. Will there be saltwater fishing in Norway? Huge ask, and obviously things that we would consider. Hard to answer those ones, guys. It's like, will there be fly fishing? Will there be bottom fishing? Will there be helicopter fishing? Okay, that's not really a thing, but yeah, hard to answer those ones.
It's when it comes to big features like that, like we would love to be able to say yes to all of them, but we're gonna have to sort of pick our battles there, see like what can we add, what can we add, what is something for the long term. As for maps, I really can't say anything to that. Like maps are such a big project.
Yeah. Massive undertaking.
So yeah.
Can we spin around after we catch a fish to show friends who are standing behind us? That is something we currently can't do. That's Is that...
I think poses are being looked at right now, but I couldn't tell you even if I knew.
Oh, there's a little juicy for you guys there. I did also notice, and I think I can just tackle that one without having to answer. Will the water improvements be on Troll Sport as well? Yes, this is for the entirety of the game, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. Wow. Fish behaviors or lure behavior change. Fish behaviors or lure behavior? Well, now, Nathan, we've had some really big improvements on the fish AI, and the bait as well. There was a bunch there. I'm not sure what else we could really do to that. Thoughts on that one?
We have a lot of thoughts on that, but it's one of those features that we're constantly looking at and reviewing and asking feedback on. But that's something that's so core to the game that it will take quite a while. It will take a lot of prototyping and testing before we really can change or make big changes to that. Like, just to give an example here, like if we were to add 10 new baits to the game, for example, that would change a lot about how the existing baits work as well, because you need to really consider like the compatibility of those, and like what is the purpose of adding these new baits from a gameplay point of view. Like even if it were to be more realistic to have, I don't know, maggots as a bait, we would still need to consider how does that impact what we already have. So it's never really just a consideration of, okay, is it like this in real life? It's also how does it impact the game.
Very good, very good. Well, now that's a tough one too. Any plans on rare fish?
Define rare fish?
different rare. See, I'm not even sure what the rare would be, but there are, I guess, considered rare. You wouldn't call it, I guess, rare variations.
Like variations of existing fish, you mean?
Like, you'll have to elaborate a little more exactly what you're looking for in a rare fish, I think.
There's something to say that the legendary fish might be considered rare, or the diamonds could be considered rare in that case. But if you mean like an actual variation of an existing fish that would be considered rare, three-eyed carp from Lake Springfield, I would consider that a legendary fish.
Hey,
Whales, that would be amazing, but I think that's a hard no.
speaking of legendaries, and now this is one that I'm very hopeful for. Any chance on making the legendaries available on Wednesday? I know originally when we brought out Troll Sport, they were supposed to overlap, but legendaries are all taking a break day. It's also the day I stream, and I'd love to catch a legendary on stream. Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge.
Well, I mean, they're active every day of the week. You just got to get better, Jaxy.
Except Wednesday's the day I stream. There's no active legendaries. Oh, wow.
Hey, really? They should be resetting on Thursdays and still be active on Wednesdays.
Yeah. Well, now we've got something to dig into a little behind the scenes. Because, yeah, it's currently...
I'll give our programmers a shout to check.
I can't believe, holy cow, that's an hour. We've run out of time.
It is indeed. I mean, I have a few more minutes if we want to do a few more questions.
Yeah, I can stick a few more minutes. I've got to get out of here pretty soon myself, but let's give her another 5 because chat, you guys are fantastic. This is a rare opportunity when you get a chance to talk to Nathan and, pour those questions in.
Like, what about rare fishes, unique mutations? Currently, no. Something I would definitely like from a design perspective, but we have no active plans for that.
Unique mutations, I see, and like catfish is albino and that sort of thing. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Full screen option.
There is a full screen option in the game.
Yep,
Your settings.
I'm in that full screen right now myself. I'm confused by that one, my friend. Are you having problems getting into full screen? Jump into the Discord if you're not already there, Henny, and we'll see if we can get you sorted. Can we
Variations from different regions. I mean, the fish that are in the reserve are generally, region specific. So if there's variations, we would add them to a map that might be in said region. Like how the pike is slightly different in Norway compared to Golden Ridge.
Very good. Very good. How about wildlife like turtles, frogs, birds, any ambient life, I guess? And we've talked about this one a fair bit on these streams. In fact, I think just every time we've had the devs out, we talked about it. It's a big ask and a valid one. But now...
It's a big ask.
It would take a lot,
something also that we're considering. But again, like any of these systems, we want to do it well. Like we don't just want, a turtle to be walking on water, so to speak. So with the worlds as big as ours, that is a lot of work. Doesn't mean it will never come. But yeah, give it some time.
Oh, I got a chunky boy here that just didn't want to get in. There we go. Got a silver. I'm loving it. You guys are catching this, right? Now we're getting the silver. We got a little more smile happening. Looks a little more excited about it. I think it's great. And I'm pumping up the my mastery on these here too while we're at it. It's pretty good. It could be your... Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, I'm just reading that. Will there be any DLC for the game? Well, Alistair, there currently is DLCs for the game. You have Troll Sport, which is Norway. And we have actually... This is kind of cool. It's a freebie. It's a gear pack. You get some incredible rods. My favorite rods and reels in game come from that pack. The Gilgamesh and the Nebuchadnezzar, and they're absolutely incredible.
There's a couple more questions here that I just quickly want to touch on. It's like, will there be any DLC for the game? We are continuing to develop the game, including more DLC. Can't say anything about specifics, however. Updates performance-wise, we're always looking at performance. So we're trying to squeeze in more performance with every update we do. Ability to change time, no current plans. Tick or zombie fish, nope. Seasonal events, That would be a spoiler.
All good questions, my friends. All good questions. Unbelievable. What a great time. Nathan, thank you so much for coming to join us here today, my friend. We have to do this more often. We really do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Oh, dude, it's my absolute pleasure. Not only has it been educational, but it's been pretty fun. I love getting the insight from you. You're in the middle of everything that's happening right now with the angler, and I can tell you our community appreciates all of your efforts and your involvement. So sincerely, thank you, my friend.
Thank you very much for having me. It was great.
Right on. My friends, chat, thank you all so much. If you haven't done so, make sure to hit that follow, hit the subscribe button. Make sure to come and join us in the Discord. It is the hub of our community. We have the forums there where you can give your feedback and suggestions so that our incredible devs, just like Nathan here, will see it. And you never know what considerations may be made, and your idea may make it in game. Come and join us again next Tuesday. We're here for hunt. Wednesday, we're back out for another fish. And I don't know, can I just live on this build until release? Because I want to go back after those crappies. I'm going to be honest.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Enjoy while you can.
I have to get approval on that one. Thank you all so very much. We'll see you guys again really soon. Until next time, peace.
Bye.